No. No. No! No! Can't even think of a new series. Think. What do I got? Idea. I could fix things. Nah, that would be too cringe. I got an idea. How about I talk about fixing media? Showing the wasted potential that could have been fixed because, people have ideas, so why not share mine? But who do I talk about? I know just the character. This video right here says otherwise. This might be a surprise to a lot of people, but you know what? Wasted potential or not, this guy deserves a redemption. Well, I thought of an idea of how to fix wasted potential, and what better way to fix wasted potential than talk about one of the most hated villains in the MCU universe, Malekith the Accursed. This guy is so bad. Boring, generic, lame design, and boring motivation, and such a lackluster way to end off a movie. Because Thor in the Dark World had potential to be good, but then Malekith exists and ruined everything. He could have been a better villain. He could have been good. He had potential to be good, but ended up being an utter waste of a character. Which makes the point, why add him in the movie? Well, that's where I come in, because judging by the fact that I watched the rant video about this guy, I thought to myself, I could make him better. I could show everyone that he could have been a better villain. So I wanted to come up with my little fan fiction, not going to be too ambitious or anything, to show that this guy could have been better on choices with design, personality, voice, backstory, everything to make him one of the better villains. Well, not great, but somewhat passable. So today I decided to take a look at on how I would fix Malekith the Accursed.
So, where do we start? Well, first off, the design. It's boring. Looks like a generic warlord that you would just see in some random old 80s movie, or 90s if you're historic. So why not change his design to make him look like the original design from the TV show and the comics? Or better yet, do the redesign on him, but make it much more intimidating and fitting for the character. This design just doesn't fit, especially change up his goons. His goons deserve a redesign, that's for dang sure. Changing his design would make him appear out as a much better, threatening, and interesting character. We want to be intimidated by this guy, not be boarded out by some clown. So that's what I would do, change his design. These would be more fitting. And I want to change him up to make him more of a sympathetic villain, since that's what the movie tried to go with this guy. Because he's basically meant to be pure evil, but he did that role in the comics and TV show. So why not make him a character where we can sympathize with? It worked for Mr. Freeze. And that would make this character much more, presentable. Show him why he is doing this. He cares for his troops, wages the war, and hates the Asgardians for, everything they've done to him. It would just elevate the story a bit more better, don't you think? Now, personality. He should be cunning, manipulative, with vengeful moments, and motives, of course. This would really change him up to be a vengeful or manipulative character who is sympathetic to where we understand, but at the same time, don't for his actions, because what we believe, he thinks he's doing for the right reasons. And we could change him up to have a much better voice, because he doesn't sound intimidating, he just sounds bored. The actor didn't even enjoy playing his role as Malekith. He hated it so much. They could have hired anyone else like Hugo Weaving, Orlando Bloom, Lee Pace, or anyone who can play a menacing yet charismatic villain. I've seen some charismatic villains that have good voice acting, so why not do it for this guy, because that would make him more presentable. We want a presentable villain, don't you think? In fact, here's how I would play the introduction of Malekith. I'll let my voice actor do the work for you.
I am Malekith the Accursed, ruler of the Dark Elves, and I shall claim my vengeance on the wretched people of Asgard.
One thing you gotta nail down is the introduction of a villain. Nail down what they are like, how they present themselves. It will show how much of a serious character he is against the people of Asgard and wanting control for the 9 realms. And I looked at some other things. The deleted scenes. I couldn't find footage for these. I tried, I looked. There was nothing. No deleted scenes, no director cut, nothing. They were all cut out in the purpose of making him have a backstory, but it was just pushed aside for Loki. So, what a flop. But it doesn't make any sense. Why not add a little bit backstory? Show some flashbacks of what happened in his past, or have him mention a little bit of his past and the backstory, and that would give us the understanding of why he's doing this, his whole entire motivation. That would really work out. Other villains have backstories, but most of the time they aren't explained, and when they are, it's either by the character mentioning them, or by the other characters mentioning their past history. Usually I prefer it when the villain talks about their past history. This whole entire segment would really show his plan and the destruction not only to Asgard, but to the 9 realms as a whole, since he wants to control it with the ether. So yeah, that could work. Now we get into the biggest flaw with the character. The confrontation with Frigga. This scene ruined him entirely and made me mad at the fact that what kind of a villain poses this much of a threat? Like, this is just pathetic for, like, the most part. Malekith in the scene goes down like a wuss, and then his goon Curse just comes in and kills her anyway because, you know, why have the main villain do the work? It really shows that they didn't even care at all with this scene, because they could have had him actually kill Frigga. This scene made me rage more than one of my most villain-hated cliches, where they have the villain, where the villain has the hero in their hands, but don't bother to kill him. Because, why not? Why would they kill him? Like, why? Why would you end the story that early? I'm sorry. It's just, I hate that scene. Nah, how about we do this better? Not have Curse show up, or in fact get beaten by Frigga, and then Malekith will come in and be like,
I am Malekith the Accursed. Your city is falling, and the Dark Elves will rise, and everything you love will wither and perish, for everything your people have done to mine.
and that will show his vengeance and what he's like, and have him kill Frigga instead of Curse. Because that would make more sense and make him more intimidating, and Frigga's death more sadder. Then Thor will come in, and Malekith will try to fight him, but ends up losing and getting his face burned with a few last words.
This isn't over, Asgardian. I will be back for vengeance. Mark my words.
This will really show why he hates Thor so much, and a lust of revenge, and will be a big threat to the hero later on because of what he did to him. That is character development 101. Take notes, everybody, because this is how you do it! Now we progress to the next scene, showcasing the part where they meet Loki, where Malekith grows more hateful to Thor, and once Loki brought Thor to him, Malekith will toy with Thor and cut off his hand instead of having Loki. But he is very wary of Loki and betrays him because of Loki's past betrayal, and also a bit of karma. This would show him more intelligence to make him a more presentable villain and make people think that's a smart part on his end, instead of just, you know, letting Loki go and just not finishing the job. That would give Loki an excuse to help Thor and side with him so they can stop Malekith, because Malekith won't give Loki what he wants, his whole entire vengeance. He will proceed with his plan to destroy the world and conquer it for his people, and vengeance towards anyone who dare hates them in this war, like, who dare towards anyone that would aid the people of Asgard and siding with Thor. The final fight should be done much better, to where he poses more of a threat and making them show that they hate each other completely. And it's shown throughout the wiki that his weakness is metal, but he gets beaten in the final battle, and it really shows off like all of his electricity powers, all of the stuff that Malekith is capable of, especially with the comics and TV show, and have his last line.
This isn't over, Asgardian. You may have bested me, but the Dark Elves will be back. You cannot stop the Ether. The 9 realms will perish, just like Frigga did.
And that would be the end. I mean, it's a better conclusion, isn't it? Anyway, this is how you write a villain. The fact that someone simple-minded like me managed to come up with all these ideas on making the character better than the actual people who made this movie shows a lot, because apparently I have more intelligence than the people at Marvel and Disney. Take notes, people, because this is how you write a villain. This is how you write your characters. What's the point of bringing your characters into the universe if people are just gonna hate them? Like, why toss them in if you're gonna do very little or bare amount of, like, stuff with the character just to make them so lackluster and terrible to where they receive negative reception? Because that shows that you do not care for your creation, but you also don't respect the people who would be a fan of it. Because when it comes to characters, let alone a villain, you would have to do much to make them presentable, because a lot of games and movies and media can do a good job with their villains. It's just the way you have to do them, and considering we have a lot of wasted potential characters that deserve a chance of redemption, let alone someone as simple-minded as me to come in and fix them. Because I can name off a list of characters that everyone hates that I say we can do better. All of us can make these villains better. We can show them that they don't need to suck. I mean, I get that making the characters hard, but you're gonna have to try, because no matter what, that's just the way things go. And I just hope that people will take notes on how you write a villain, because we do not want characters like Malekith. We all have our fair share of hated villains in the past and in the present, and we deserve better characters to be shown to us. We do not need jokers like Malekith or pathetic wimps like him. We deserve a better antagonist, and I can show you that I can do a better job with a villain than anyone else could ever achieve. Unless you guys have any ideas. Anyways, I think that's gonna be it for this part. Did I miss anything? Do you think my idea could be better? Or need some changes? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this idea. Also, special thanks to Chad Peterson for doing the voice and fixing up my script for this video, because I had the idea of this series, and if you guys have any characters that are wasted potential that deserve to be fixed, let me know. I just hope it's characters that I know much about. If it's not, that's alright. I will look into research. This is my version of Malekith and how I would fix him entirely. Until next time, y'all.